Bring Sahela back to me, my littlest one, my dearest one. You give me everything.
Your tree must wait. There is fighting in you yet.
The Divine Order? What the devil? The contract seems to predate Alexander's ascension, too.
Looks like this place has seen better days. Much better days.
I should keep my voice low. No need to wake the dead. It's not a silent monk, but it's...
The servant responds with a blank look and a low groan.
Dwarves leave their dead for the birds to consume. Barbaric.
The eagle glowers at you with one baleful eye, keeping the other eye firmly trained on the stringy morsels of rotting flesh dangling from its beak.
Let's see what spirits haunt this garden.
Watching the birds pick your body.
You dare! You dead!
And it means that elf ain't not mine.
A grim expression.
The dead don't rest. He live, the less I see.
The dwarf. The...
We died glorious deaths.
Picked up my spies. No. There's no glory and no point to it either.
We are an inspiration to our people.
Two dwarfs in a flash as the... Both butcher killers, the brothers, rip and then...
Locked in perpetual prayer. Keep trying, my friend.
At first glance, the spirit seems much like its host. Hollow, detached. Yet, in its eyes, you see something more ominous, something not apparent before. Agony. The spirit nods, and its face grows even more tortured. It is...
The spirit is haunted as the graveyard it roams.
I've spotted something.
I've spotted something. These are lizard remains, but in the...
You lay your hand on the withered lizard remains. A chill caresses the back of your neck, and the breeze seems to carry an echoing moan. The headless statue looms over you. Its plinth bears the same rotation scratches as its counterpart. The statue doesn't move, no matter how much force you apply. The headless statue looms over you. The statue gestures towards the heavens, a striking image amidst the graves and sepulchres. You are relieved of the past's nightmares and the future's burdens. All that matters is now.
As beautiful as always, if unwilling to whisk me away from this place. This again. Another forgotten king. What's this?
The head. The statue rotates with little resistance. You cringe at the sound of stone grating against. The statue rotates with little resistance.
I've spotted.
The skeleton tries to brush the dirt from his clattering bones, then frowns. The moistest bits are still stuck in his cracks and crevices.
Thanks. You're probably looking for a reward, but I haven't got much. Except, you know, the wisdom of the ages.
He pokes a finger against his ossified head.
I'm a bit of a philosopher, you see. Not much else to be, what with all that thinking time. Are you questioning my intellect? You think you say more sooth than me, a verified soothsayer.
The skeleton pauses and sighs, then straightens his spine with a clatter.
A soul bond will settle it. A battle of wits. Then the cosmos itself will decide who can better face the truth of our own essence, me or you. A weak soul may not survive the bond, but I'm sure you'll be just fine. Battle is dangerous, is it not? I find it to be true anyway, even when you're battling your own mortality. The angst can prove terminal to the weak-willed. Oh, it's easy. We link up souls and share our innermost beliefs. Think of it like an innocent little duel. The winner remains comfortable with their personal truths. The loser, well... Oh, how fun. Just touch this bone on my rib cage here, right over where my heart would be, if, well, you know.
You reach for the rib in question, but nothing feels different. Not until you try to pull your finger away and it remains glued to the bone.
All right, mister. Deep thought. First up, our purpose in life. I say it's to accumulate knowledge. Pretty great answer, eh? Can you do better than that?
His jaws clack together in a show of self-assurance. You question your response the moment it leaves your lips. Your entire body shivers anxiously as you wonder, what is this life's true meaning?
You poor, precious, pathetic thing. That's what happens when you gaze into an unseasoned soul. Let's see if you can do better this time. Tell me, Sammy Smarty Pants, is there such a thing as free will? I say no. The gods guide our every move. I dare you to outsmart me now.
You are immobilized by fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of nothing, fear of everything. It aches, as if the weight of the world presses against your skull.
Oh, the strapping warrior's as weak as a kitten. There, there. It'll be okay. I hate to ask another question, but the bond demands it. Sorry and all that. So tell me, is there a difference between right and wrong? Don't hurt yourself now. I know how trying this must be for you.
You feel the bond break between your finger and the skeleton. You pull your hand quickly back to your side. Inner doubt rips through your mind, soul, and body. The pressure builds and builds.
Such a pity. If it ain't Francis Philot. Will always find you. You cannot hide.
The spirit.
This part is gated off from the rest. Whoever is buried here must have been...
Here rest. Here. Suddenly, the earth churns and buckles upwards in several places. Some things are trying to rise to the surface.
Taste steel, Godwoken.
These graves shall be yours now, Godwoken.
were heroes. What happened to them? And what's this covenant?
I'm fading.
I'm ready.
A stately knight. I feel... What cause did this knight serve, I wonder?
The dog growls and bares its teeth at you in a wide, unsettling grin. You swear you see a worm emerge from its grey-pink gums, then burrow back in. Slobber drips from the dog. The dog growls and bares...
Come closer. I dare you.
He sniffs. He snarls.
I am death. There's no defying me. You would mock the beast after crawling into its mouth?
The dog's growls intensify and transform into a rhythmic rasp that mimics laughter. You swear you see the ground behind him momentarily churn and tremble.
Not one step further. I know what you want here, but Canna's already laid claim to it. Ha! She calls herself master. I call her minion. Whatever name you choose, it is her hand that will wield it. not yours.
The dog raises its head to the stormy sky and howls. The earth beneath you vibrates, a dirge plucked on the strings of a rotting lute.
Necrotic troll, you are summoned. Crawl through the gate. The earth opens for thee.
A man wearing a crown, but no king of mine.
The dog's spirit rolls his head around, gawking at the ground and sky as if he's never seen them before, then locks his eyes on yours. He snarls, unconvincingly.
I am death. The masses tremble at my might. We will retrieve anathema. Our enemies will bow before the demon blade.
He moves to lick his haunches and seems taken aback by his own translucence.
Once a demon, now a weapon. We heard its call and slayed our allies in its name. It is near. With it, we will slay living and undead alike. There will be no mercy.
The canine spirit lifts his head to howl, but can barely manage a whimper. He tucks his tail between his legs, shocked at his own impotence. The lizard hums tunelessly, not a melody except...
10 spans under, humans slept. 10 spans up, the dwarves were kept. Lizards burned in lasting flame. Elven trees towards skies did aim.
She looks to your left with one eye and to your right with the other.
It helps me remember where the dead go. Sometimes they don't stay where I put them. That's okay.
She smiles at you with the innocence of a newborn. The hum still throbs in her throat.
Keeping watch, tending the graves.
She returns to her humming. She flinches as you move closer.
No, no touching.
Her humming fades. The eerie silence lasts for several seconds.
Ryker might get mad. He doesn't like it when someone touches his things.
She shivers and whispers.
Powerful sorcerer. Lives here, right in the garden. He can take the you from you. No brain, just body.
She points at her head.
The servants, they got nothing up there. Ryker has it all now. They need to be freed. Only way. Kill Ryker. The servants, so lost. Chained by Sorcerer Ryker. But they can still go home to the hall. Set them free.
The ensuing silence lasts for several seconds, until she picks up the melody once again and turns away. At first, you might...
So still here. Like the air itself's been petrified.
You scrape. The petrified woman cannot speak, but her eyes glow with the fury of the sun. This statue was one.
Two head won't budge.
Oh, too heavy.
Nothing but bone dust. Even the petrified aren't immune to the ravages of time, it seems.
Well, isn't this rich? Cursed by a coffin and rescued by a newt. The indignity.
She huffs in annoyance and rolls her eyes.
Oh, all this trouble, and for nothing. Never figured I'd need frost armour. You want me to spoil the story before you see how it ends? I'd never be so rude.
She purses her lips and coyly tilts her head.
Oh, but do forgive me. I haven't offered you proper thanks.
She bows in insincere reverence. Her arm rests on her back, hand mere inches from her staff. She pauses and considers, then rises from her bow.
Oh, honey, so naive. Anathema's still out there, and I'm not keen on competition, if you get my drift.
A jolt of cursed fire flares from her staff, and you brace yourself for battle.
Bring it.
Glory is mine.
Did she say anathema?
spirit's lip curls upwards. She opens her mouth as if to speak, but her words fade in the tomb's chill. The longer you gaze, the more your inner source churns. You are drawn into her, her mind, her body, her past. They are no longer hers, but yours. You sit at a fire. At your left lies a black dog, basking in the warmth. Others huddle behind you. A young elf, a grizzled dwarf, and a skeleton. And you hold a parchment up to the light and point at it. It is there that anathema can be found. The sky is dark, and the roaring fire is now a sad flicker. The others lie around it in a circle, but you hear no snores. Their chests neither rise nor fall. Their eyelids never twitch. You look to your left. The dog's yellow eyes lock with yours, and the two of you turn from the ring of corpses. And you gasp as you are thrust into the present. You take a few deep heaves, then glance at the spirit. Her mouth continues to gabble, but you're grateful that only silence reaches your ears. Canna's spirit convulses in response. Her ghostly arms reach out, not for help, but instead to flash you a final rude gesture.
Human graves. Let's hope none are earmarked for me.
Within the Stonegarden's walls, peace be thy immortal fortune, relieved of toil, free of indignity, until thou art called to serve. As you reach to push open the heavy door, the coils and whirls of engraved wood dance into a new pattern. The semblance of a face arises, a face that seems to look right through you.
A little sorcerer, come to play. You are a sorcerer, are you not? Perhaps even God-woken? Tell me true, now.
Silence greets your answer. In the distance, you hear the screech of an eagle. Worryingly closer, you hear some kind of a moan. Time passes. At last, the lips on the door creak open, and the door speaks.
Enter.
The face melts back into the wood of the door, and the whirls swirl back into a floral pattern. A loud metallic click can be heard from deep within.
Only a madman would build a mansion on the edge of...
The masked servant does... The creature... The creature barely notices your presence. The spirit does not respond to your presence. A spirit sits behind the grand piano, her hands moving to and fro along the ivory keys.
O'er black and white my fingers dart, as lost between worlds as I am. O'er globes they glide, o'er flats and sharps. Whither go they, Lord of Life? Direct them.
The music swells as the spirit's dalliances along the piano keys are joined by a ghostly violin. A distant orchestra fills the room with melody.
My fingers are yours.
Her hands fall upon...
My fingers are yours.
The echoes...
My fingers are yours.
The spirit does not... spirit... The masked creature grunts 3 times at the sight of you. It reaches its arm out. Clasped in its hand is a crumpled parchment. You take the page, and the servant returns to its hollow existence. The spirit does not... As you approach, the salamander's tongue flickers, tasting you on the air. The spirit...
Not amused.
The spirit cannot...
Not amused. A visitor? Such a rare and exquisite pleasure.
The elf tilts his head backwards, but his squinted eyes don't stray from yours.
Call me Ryker, and I shall call you Ifan, yes? Such fortune that a fellow lone wolf would cross my path purely by chance. Why, the stories are legendary, my good man. As you must have known of me from Lupine tales, so do I know of you. Any lone wolf would recognize the silver claw on sight. To meet you is a great honor. I suspect you know yourself by yet another name, however. Godwoken. Oh, Ifan, your reputation surely precedes you. Do you suppose you pass through this land unnoticed? I also see you are not yet whole.
He presses a slender forefinger against his tight lips and hums.
I'm not a generous man, but I could give you what you seek if you offer something in return. A fair exchange between one wolf and another. Let's not be so secretive, my good fellow. You're dying to show off those smoldering talents of yours. You just don't know how to handle them. I can help you with that. I can share my bond with the source with you, fill your well to the brim, make you a master. The rest of the story, well, it's yours to write. You must go to the Black Pits. There's a cavern there. In it, you'll find a stone tablet of considerable value.
He points to the location on your map.
Bring it to me.
Dizziness. It lasts just a moment, but long enough for you to feel Ralik's presence. You hear no words, yet understand. It's imperative you accept Ryker's bargain. The episode passes. Ryker is peering at you intently. He awaits your reply.
Oh, but heading to the Black Pits would mean tangling with more magisters, and they're such a nuisance. I like keeping my hands clean, you see. It's a miracle of the ancients. Priceless, really, and powerful enough to draw the magisters' attentions. I won't bore you with further detail. Suffice it to say, it is safer in my hands than in theirs.
Ryker's lips stretch and his cheeks bulge, but you couldn't rightly call his unusual grimace a smile.
I'm a man of taste, as you no doubt see. A relic this significant would make an incredible addition to my collection. Don't deny an old wolf his simple pleasures. A promise you'd best fulfill.
Ryker bows his head deeply.
Then you'll have the power you seek, if not the power that trumps it. There will always be one greater, you know. Now please, don't let me keep you. Such dreamy prose. I could get lost. Death prowls above. Ascend only if you seek it.
The mark. The spirit gives you a... The spirit gives you... This door is locked tight, but there's a sliding hatch at ankle height. Grains of sand drift from beneath the door and form the tiniest dunes. Peering in, you can barely see as your vision is limited by... Before you stands the ghost of an older woman. Clad in flowing Magister's robes, she peers around the room as if looking for something lost. On seeing you, she brightens and extends an ethereal hand.
Magister Pavlonia, charmed to meet you, I'm sure.
As she reaches for you, her hand passes right through your arm. She shrieks, horror animating her face.
Oh, my hand, my fingers. Well, really, I'm quite aware of that, but I am not fully myself. I keep forgetting things somehow. It's hard to hold all the threads together when you've fallen apart yourself. Wait, the spider! It was the spider! She chewed me. Bits of me. Slowly. I keep looking, but I can't find myself. Yes. I came from the Black Pits to negotiate with Ryker here in his house. We needed to ensure that scoundrel wouldn't interfere with our plans there. He must have mixed something into the delightful rose tea he served me. And then... Next I knew, I was rolled up in webbing as his spider sucked the marrow right from my bones and nibbled my limbs off. I hope you didn't drink any tea downstairs. He's a master sorcerer. Everyone knows that. But he's too powerful to take to the joy. And besides, he had some business that coincided with Dallas's interests. Of course, if he were to act up, we could always work on his little vulnerability to fortify. So Dallas ordered him left alone, providing he didn't interfere with Magister business in the Black Pits.
She throws you a haughty glance. In the sharp lines of her face, you see steely determination overtaking the spirit's distracted manner.
None of your... Never mind.
She stands stock still. The spider spindles right up to you, her long, long legs tickling the sandy floor. A malevolent intelligence gleams forth from 8 beady eyes. She opens her mouth, hissing at you.
Getting your mucky little boots in all the wrong places. Don't you know, my little pepper pot, that it's ever such bad manners to enter a queen's boudoir without permission? Did that Ryker toss you upstairs, darling? Has he grown weary of milking my venom his very own self? Oh, precious! It's almost too sad to take advantage. But my princelings are hungry. And just look at you. Your food.
Her fangs drool venom that sizzles on the sand. But there's no time to think about all that, because raising up on her hind legs, she pounces right at you.
with you. You're not trying to escape, are you?
The hatch is blocked tight. Straining and grunting, your strength...
Junk.
you think the master loves you more'n he loves me, then, Dot, you're a bigger idiot than you look.
Master's the master. Master knows the dog is better than the cat. Master says good dog. Does Master say good cat? No. No, Master does not. See?
The cat gives the dog a long, languid look of carefully disguised contempt. Then she sighs and turns to you.
Settle an argument for us. Dog's body here thinks that 'cause the master is grateful for his, meaning the dog's, mindless devotion, he loves his dog more than he loves his cat. I, on the other hand, know full well that it's the master's admiration for my general bearing, demeanour and intrinsic greatness what is most indicative of a state of actual love. He near worships me, he does.
Master loves his dog. Master thinks his cat is cool, not the same thing.
You're a moron.
No, I'm not. I'm black-brown.
See what I'm dealing with? Come on, settle the argument. Tell him he's wrong.
Dog.
Oh, cat.
Dog.
Oh, you're impossible.
What's this? I found something.
No keyhole, no handle. There must be a hidden mechanism.
No keyhole, no handle. There must be a hidden mechanism.
This is quite the antiques collection. It's broken. air buzzes with sauce here. Flesh and bone, severed and stitched. Perhaps some sort of junk. This again. Look out. I see a trap nearby.
I trust that our bargain reaches a satisfactory conclusion. I'm prepared to offer a generous reward, my good fellow. You're dying to show off those smoldering talents of yours. You just don't know how to handle them. I can help you with that. I can share my bond with the source with you, fill your well to the brim, make you a master. The rest of the story, well, it's yours to write. You do your part, then I do mine. Well, see that you find me when it is in hand.
Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Such indecency. I believe we have a friendly agreement. Oh.
I'm ready.
Focus.
Double-crossed. But why?
Look
Careful
out.
now.
I see a trap nearby.
You see yourself in the mirror. It's quite a sight.
Nice. This is quite the antiques collection. This again. Junk.
Careful. I've spotted a trap.
No keyhole, no keyhole, no handle. There must be a hidden no keyhole, no handle. There must be a hidden mechanism.
No keyhole, no handle. There must be a hidden mechanism. This is quite the antiques collection.
I hear a door opening. There must be a nugget of wisdom somewhere in these dusty books.
Interesting. I'll give it that. Interesting. I'll give it that. This is quite the antiques collection. I can feel my source powers drape. My lucky day. A third pyramid.
Interesting. I'll give it that.
As you approach, the salamander... The stag trophy stares outward with dull glass eyes, inscrutable. A faint breath of chill air brushes the back of your neck. The gentle scrape of a sound, a foot or a hoof, dragging across a floorboard perhaps.
I hear something scurrying around.
You, apple tater cheese.
The rat's tail twists and untwists. His ears cock and uncock.
Food, food, food.
The turtle looks up at you, slowly. It looks down, slowly. It looks back to you, slowly.
Lucky in life, unlucky in love.
She lets loose a long sigh. She inhales. She sighs again.
Oh, Rory, the rat. He's just over there. Don't blink, or he'll flit right past. Like a rat. He's Grace. I'm Gruel. I'm too slow to give him smooches. And he's so smoochable. If only I could keep up. I could groan sweet things in his little ears. I could tell him I love him. I could share my beats. I like beats. Oh, how come nectar? Oh.
She grins at her.
Can't talk, hungry.
The rat's tail twists and
Cheese food, fruit. Can't talk, hungry. Hungry cheeseberry.
The rat vacuums up your scent. Its whiskers twitch.
Cheese food, fruit food. Can't talk, hungry.
The rat's tail twists and
cheese food, fruit food. Can't talk, hungry.
The rat's tail twists.
Cheese food, fruit. No time, need food.
The rat's tail twists.
Food. Can't talk, hungry.
The rat's
cheese food. No time, need food.
The turtle looks up at you.
Lucky in life. Oh, he does love a good. Maybe you could drop some victuals next to me. They say the way to. I used to be Riker now. I like made the sauce. the soil under.
We make a cute couple.
My fingers are yours. Direct them.
She hums quietly. The notes move in rhythm with her wandering eyes. The lizard pauses, and a smile crosses her face.
Me belongs to me. Servants belong to the hall. That's the way I like it.
Her hum returns, soft at first, then blossoming into a full-fledged hymn.
10 spans under, humans slept. 10 spans up, the dwarves were kept.